first epoch, second epoch, and the third epoch, this whole tradition puts a lot of emphasis on learning to be human, not in the anthropological sense, but in the anthropo-cosmic sense. In other words, learning to be human is not simply anthropological. Fully developed humanity necessitates humanity understands nature on the one hand and heaven on the other. So this form of humanism is naturalistic. It's not against nature. It is also spiritual. It is a form of reverence, a form of awe for heaven. And of course, functional equivalent of heaven, whether Yahweh, God, Allah, Brahman, or the Greek idea of logos. So this learning in the Confucian tradition is an open one. One of the main features of the tradition is the idea of the unity of heaven and humanity. 天人合一. Often we use that simply as a slogan that we want to understand heaven and also understand ourselves. But it is profoundly meaningful. It's also profoundly, quote, religious. Confucianism is not a religion, but it has religious dimension. When Confucianism becomes totally secularized through the rationalizing process, become only interested in society, human relationships, career, building the government, building important industries, because Confucianism is this worldly, unlike Christianity, Buddhism, or Islam. We certainly consider that as a very important feature of the Confucian tradition. It's this worldly is to consider Earth as our home. Never use the term the Earth is simply mundane, or the Buddhist idea of the red dust, or the idea of the world of the Caesars, rather than the ultimate meaning of something beyond and superior. But a term I think very useful is what Herbert Figueret, an American philosopher, characterizes Confucianism as regarding the secular, our daily life, as sacred. Or the ultimate meaning of life is realizable in our ordinary human existence. It is in this sense, there are four inseparable dimensions in the Confucian tradition that need to be fully developed as a form of spiritual humanism. The first one I already alluded to, that's self-cultivation. And in fact, this dimension is absent in many great philosophical constructions. We talk about the relationship between person and between society. We talk about the relation about ultimate reality, about all kinds of fascinating philosophical issues. But the idea of a kind of spiritual discipline, self-cultivation, is often relegated to the background. Philosophers are not interested in these ideas, only religionists, only people who have faith. But in the Confucian tradition, even though it's not a religion, it has tremendous respect for heaven. In traditional China, there are 5 areas that deserve human respect. One is heaven, second one is earth, and then emperor. Emperor, actually the functional equivalent of a nation. Parents and teacher. 天地君亲师. Each one of them deserves a sense of reverence. And so, in addition to self-cultivation, there's a concern for a community, variously understood. We all know that in China, that the family is considered most important. But Confucianism is not simply feminism. It's not simply focusing on the family. And sometimes Confucianism can become kind of nepotistic. But that's a very limited, partial, even superficial understanding of the Confucian project. The idea of learning to be human is we go beyond our egoism to be able to realize our self. Self is not just egoistic. We try to cultivate the warmth of the family, but we have to go beyond nepotism. Otherwise, Confucianism is like mafia ethics. It's not real Confucian ethics. We should go beyond parochialism. We should also go beyond nationalism or communalism as a limiting structure. We should go beyond anthropocentrism, therefore to realize unity of the human and heaven. Another very important aspect of the Confucian tradition is its golden rule stated in the negative. Do not do unto others what you do not want others to do unto you. It's not do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Let me just spend about 2 or 3 minutes to make a difference. When I was asked to join a group to facilitate the dialogue on civilizations with, actually in the year 2001, as a guest of Kofi Annan, I proposed that do not do unto others what I would not want others to do unto me, as the basic principle for dialogue. Do to others, often I assume responsibility. That which is good for me, I would like to share with others. If I share with others and the others don't appreciate it, my responsibility, obligation to share becomes even stronger. Do not do unto others is to consider the other, the integrity of the other. Try to listen sometimes through imagination, creative imagination, what the other really wants. It's an understanding of the other as precondition for dialogue. So dialogue, in the true sense of the term, is not an occasion to persuade, certainly not an occasion to convert. The whole Confucian tradition is not a missionary tradition. It's basically wrong for me to come all the way from China to try to preach Confucian message, so to speak, because this is 枉教非礼也. If you go out and try to teach, this is not according to the Confucian idea of propriety. As you wait, when you have developed something great, people will be attracted. They will come to you. So this idea of the golden rule stated in the negative is to underscore not only a sense of self-restraint, not to impose, but also to restrain from the perceived misunderstanding of someone. Try to persuade someone, you don't understand us. We don't act this way. Please listen to what we have to do. It's not to make a statement about how great we are. Now, if dialogue is not to persuade, not to make a statement, not to persuade others to change your perceived misunderstanding, what is the purpose? First, the purpose is to cultivate the art of listening. And of course, also a science, also an idea, deep listening. To be a Confucian is to be a good listener. The second one is to expand one's own horizon. To expand horizon meaning confronting something other, sometimes radical otherness, is in fact a liberating experience to see something that we never encountered before. And more importantly too, it's the idea of self-reflexivity, more and more critical of oneself and understanding oneself. So the community that is built, not just the family, but neighborhood, and of course nation and the world and beyond, is very comprehensive. This is of course a high ideal. In the spiritual humanist tradition, one of the most moving statements is the statement by the 11th century Confucian thinker by the name of Zhang Zai in his Western inscription. Now many people are quite familiar with it. It states with this, the statement is, heaven is my father, earth is my mother.